Hello, beautiful people. So, first and foremost, it is April Fools. I've had I've had a few people tell me, "Hey, Wonder Bro, you should do something on your channel for April Fools." And I've kind of tossed around a few ideas, right? That could have been pretty funny, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to go ahead and let you know right now before we even get started. There is no April Fool's jokes here. We're not going to be doing any April Fool's jokes here. You're not in store for any sort of a scare. So don't be paranoid, right? Don't get paranoid on me. Don't get worried. Um, the reason I've decided to not do any April Fool's trickery today is because it's a little bit different when your entire channel revolves around people that are currently trying to learn how to stop overthinking things and, retrain their brains and be less obsessive. So it's a little bit different when you're working on a channel that revolves around that topic. So I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm not going to do that to you guys. Some of you are fooling yourselves every single day with the things that you're telling yourself and all that nasty second fear and worry. So I'm not going to add to that with an April Fool's joke. So there will be no trickery today. Anyway, now that we've got that out of the way, Giant, what is up, dude? First in chat. Sky coming in second. Thought he got first. Thought he got first. Actually coming in second. How you doing? I'm working in my yard, so I hope everyone has a great stream. I hope that goes well for you, dude. Tonight, guys, tonight we are going to be talking about anxiety recovery. If you ever get confused, just remember this. Just remember this one little thing we're going to be talking about tonight. So, there is a decent amount of people out there, I feel, that still overcomplicates this, makes it out to be a lot more complicated and confusing than it needs to be. Right? A lot of people, sort of sit around and obsess over recovery itself, obsess over what they're supposed to be doing, right? They take the two main keys, which are very simple on the surface, and they turn them into this entire obsession where they're trying to figure this out and figure that out, and they're really just overcomplicating the entire process, the whole 9 yards, right? So it's easy to take your obsession, your obsessive traits, your obsessive habit, and accidentally apply that to recovery too, and overcomplicate it and confuse it and just make it, a lot more confusing than it needs to be. So we're going to talk about that tonight. If you ever get confused, if you're ever sitting around obsessing about recovery or what it is you need to do, right? We're going to talk about that. Just one thing you need to remember that should answer most of those questions for you. So if you find yourself in that position, I got you. First like, though. There you go. There you go. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you, Lucy. I am feeling much better. Almost got choked. I got some much needed sleep, and the stomach finally started to chill out for me. So we're good. We're good. Hello, Miss Moon. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? We'll give it another second or two, and then we'll go ahead and get rolling. I don't want to keep people waiting too long. Let's just make sure. Let's make sure we actually sent out the notifications and all that good stuff. We did. We'll send out one more. We'll send out one more quick notification before we get started. There we go. All right. All right. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get this ball rolling. So, if you ever get confused, just remember this. Now, like I was just saying, people tend to overcomplicate what recovery means. People tend to overcomplicate what it is that they need to do, especially in the heat of the moment, which I understand. When the anxiety is very high or the negative intrusive thoughts are coming very quickly, it can be easy to start obsessing about what it is that you need to do with all of this, right? Do I do this? Do I do that? What about what about that thing that Wonder Bro said 3 months ago on the stream? Do I apply that here, or what about, okay, what are the two main keys? Let's try to break down exactly what those means. And your mind is already racing. You're already experiencing, high levels of anxiety. So you're all over the place, right? You're all over the place. You're trying to figure out this. You're trying to break down the two main keys, and you can't make heads or tails of anything because you're already so anxious. And people do this often. Right? They overcomplicate the two main keys. They overcomplicate recovery. They overcomplicate the journey, right? And they try to perfect it. They try to break every little detail down. They try to, they get so confused and worked up and overwhelmed, even over the simple advice itself, because in that moment you can't think straight really to begin with, because you're too anxious to really think straight. So, you know, if you ever find yourself, right, if that day comes, if that moment comes where you're like, I need to put in the work here. I need to do the work here. But I'm so confused. I'm so overwhelmed. My mind's running a mile a minute. What is it that I need to do here, right? With all of these thoughts going on and all these feelings going on, what is it that I need to do here? If you ever find yourself in this situation, I just want you to remember one thing and one thing only, right? Instead of overcomplicating it, instead of trying to figure it all out, if you're that overwhelmed, just remember one thing, okay? Positive behavior. I did not say positive thoughts and being all the, positive 24. No, I said positive behavior. If you are extremely overwhelmed, or if you ever find yourself extremely overwhelmed with anxiety and the thoughts are coming a mile a minute and the symptoms are all over the place, I want you to remember one thing: positive behavior. Now, some people might hear that and say, okay, Wonder Bro, you're telling people that if they're really confused with this advice, that they just need to remember one thing in the heat of the moment, that's positive behavior. What happened to the other part of the advice where you tell us accepting attitude, not fight with the thoughts and feelings? What happened to that, Wonder Bro? Obviously, that still applies. But let me explain something. If you are extremely overwhelmed, worked up, and obsessive over this advice, you're going to try to pick that apart, and you're going to overcomplicate that part of the process. So instead of trying to pick that apart, naturally, as you work on this positive behavior, let's say in the heat of the moment you decide to put on your favorite song, or you decide to do something productive, or you decide to do something that you normally wouldn't do. We call this positive behavior. If you're not even thinking about the whole part of the advice that says accepting attitude, that's okay. If we can just get you on board with the positive behavior as a start, naturally you're already going to be fighting less with the thoughts. Now, how does that work? Well, if you're used to laying in bed fighting with the thoughts and using all these negative coping methods and compulsions and all that good stuff, right? But then you decide to focus on some positive behavior, right? And you're not overcomplicating what the advice means, or not trying to overcomplicate what the advice means. Naturally, as you're doing this positive behavior, you're focusing less and less on the thoughts. Now, you didn't even really have to bring that to the forefront of your mind in order for that to happen. It just kind of happened naturally as a result of the positive behavior, because you're busying yourself with normal life, right? You are busying yourself with a productive pursuit. You are busying yourself with a positive pursuit. Now, the thoughts are still going to be there. Feelings are probably still going to be there, right? All these things are still technically going to be there. But as you busy yourself with productivity, as you busy yourself with positive behavior, you are going to naturally, as a result, stop fighting with the thoughts less and less. Now, of course, when you're in a more calm state of mind, and I can sit here and I can talk to you one-on-one and I can tell you, okay, when those thoughts and those feelings come, have that accepting attitude, and instead of arguing with the thoughts, just give yourself, accepting little reminder, and then turn the attention back to that positive behavior. As you're in a more calm state of mind, I can sit here and I can have that conversation with you. But if you find yourself in a position where you're not in that calm state of mind, at least not enough to hear what I'm saying, and you're just kind of all over the place, overcomplicating the crap out of the advice, right, and just very obsessive about it. If that's you, okay, let's not have that deep conversation just yet. Let's make it extremely simple for you, and then we'll talk about that stuff later. Let's tell you to focus on those positive behaviors. Get up and live your life. Stop trying to figure this out. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to overcomplicate it. Stop obsessing about what all of the advice means. Let's just get up. Let's get your foot in the door with some positive behavior. Let's knock out a few positive things today. Let's do some productive things today. Let's give those things a shot, right? Let's give those things a try. Then as you start to get to a place where you're a little bit more level-headed, right, where you're a little bit more level-headed and you're not so obsessive and you're not just really overthinking all of this, then we'll discuss the details, right? Then we'll discuss the details about what it means to have an accepting attitude and how this works and how this affects the amygdala and the limbic system, and then we'll discuss all that. But if you find yourself in a place where you're just really confused about what the advice means, and maybe you're just really anxious and you're really panicky and you can't wrap your head around the two main keys and you're like, what does that specifically mean and what does that specifically mean? Let's just keep it super simple and tell you get up and get living, right? The anxiety is there, yes. The intrusive thoughts are probably running a mile a minute, yes. But get up and get living, right? And then you can go watch my streams about the two main keys and how they affect the body and the mind and what it means to have the accepting attitude. You can go watch all of that once you're in a calmer state of mind. But if you're freaking out on me right now, right, this stream is for you. If you're freaking out on me right now, this stream is for you. Stop trying to overcomplicate the advice. Keep it super simple if you're in a bad place right now, and just get living. That's all I got to say. You know, we can talk about the accepting attitude and all that, and we should talk about it. But for this stream right here, and for my people out there that are freaking out on me, I've got one thing to say. Just get living. Get going. Get up, get going. Get up, get going. Get productive. Do something positive. Do something different besides laying there in bed trying to overthink all of this. Do something different besides sitting on the couch trying to figure out what recovery means and what do you do with this and what do you do with that. And just get up and get living, right? Just get up and get living. Get up, get involved in life. Get involved in positive behavior. Get involved in productivity. Get involved in something else besides trying to figure this crap all out. Because you're just freaking yourself out, right? Every single day, day after day, if you are very obsessive about the advice and what the advice means, you're just working yourself up day after day. We can talk about the details. We can talk about how body and mind works. We can talk about the accepting attitude and don't follow your thoughts and instead just live, right? We can talk about all that, and we should talk about all that. But for now, if you are overcomplicating this and you're not seeing the results that you wish to be seeing, and every single day you're just so obsessive about recovery, then we need to keep it even more simple for you. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with making it even more simple, right? More simple than it already is. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to make it more simple for you if you're overcomplicating this thing, and we need to tell you just one thing. Get up and get living. Get up and get going. Get up and do something productive. Get up and do something positive. Put something different on besides an anxiety form, right? Do something different. Mix it up a little bit. Positive behavior, right? So, you know, that's the main point of my stream. The two main keys have always been something that I try to keep super simple, right? Have the accepting attitude. Instead of fighting with the thoughts and feelings, just give yourself some accepting reminders. I accept this, and live your life. So, the two main keys are always something that I've kept super, super simple. But even so, for some people that are in that place where they're very obsessive and they've worked themselves up to the point where they're just so obsessed about the advice that they've overcomplicated the crap out of it. Even though the two main keys are so super simple, that still happens. People still overcomplicate the two main keys to death, right? And if you're guilty of doing that, that's why I made this stream. Just focus on one thing. If you can't listen to what I'm saying without overcomplicating it, then just get up and do something productive. Get up and get going. Naturally, as a result of living, you're going to be fighting with your thoughts less. Naturally, as a result of positive behavior, you're going to be giving those thoughts less. You're going to be following those thoughts less. Naturally, as a result of positive behavior and positive action, you're going to be less likely to be fighting with your thoughts and feelings. So if I had to break it down to just one thing, right, for those people who overcomplicate it, I would say positive behavior. Because as a result of positive behavior, you're naturally going to be using the two main keys, right? Hopefully you use that positive behavior to a degree that you're going to be fighting with your thoughts less as a result. You're going to be, accepting more as a result, right? So if I had to make it even more simple than it already is, get up and get living, right? If you're sitting there asking yourself, how do I recover? Well, you're going to recover by getting up and get living. And that can be anything. It could be taking the trash out if that's the start. It could be brushing your teeth. It could be singing your favorite song. Literally anything but anxious behavior is positive living. And if you make that your main focus and really go after that with some effort and dedication, as a result, you'll naturally start to be using these two main keys. So there you go. Just a little stream for anybody out there who may be overthinking what recovery is or how to do it. I would say that is the one thing you need to focus on. If you can't follow what I'm saying right now and you need it even more simple, just get up and get living, right? So that was the main point of today's stream. You know, my goal since day one here on this channel has always been to try to keep it as simple and straightforward and to the point as possible, and that's exactly why I had this stream tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, there is no April Fool's jokes here, right? So if you're a little paranoid right now thinking I'm going to pull one over on you, it's not going to happen. We're just going to head to post stream, we're going to put some music on, and we're just going to read some comments. I'll be honest, I did have a few ideas in mind for April Fool's jokes, but it didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. Maybe if I, did some sort of different channel, but here we're trying to help people out with their anxiety. It just doesn't feel right to be pulling jokes. So there you go. We're going to read some comments. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's see. We've got a $10 Cash App coming in from Love with a tip note that says, I love you. Thank you. That is very sweet of you. I love you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Just sent you something on Cash App. Oh, Love the Universe with the $10 tip. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. I am thankful for you. I am thankful for you. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. What did I do? Okay, I got that backwards. Oops. There we go. Fixed it. Show her some love, her or him. Show them some love in the chat, guys. I would really appreciate it. Let me turn this music down just a tad. That's pretty loud on my end. Okay, yeah, let's turn that down just a little bit. Thank you so much, Universe. I appreciate you. Let's see who we've got in the chat today. Had a bad day today. Have a Fitbit and heart rate was above 100 for 4 hours. Luckily, my mind didn't go crazy, remained sane, but just left the why as why that happened. But tried my best. Man, Fitbits and heart rate monitors, heartbeat monitors, oxygen, what are they called? The oxygen meter thing. Oh my gosh. These are just destructive devices that absolutely wreck the life of anybody with health anxiety. I can't tell you to throw these things out the window. I can't personally tell you to throw these devices out the window. Obviously, if you have some sort of health condition, I understand why you've got equipment like that. But if you don't have some sort of health condition, you're dealing with health anxiety, I can't tell you to get rid of this stuff, but I can tell you how destructive it is. I can tell you how destructive these things are going to be for you during your journey with health anxiety. These little meters that do heartbeat and oxygen levels and all this other stuff, oh my God, it's so destructive. Dude, imagine a recent study shows anxiety is not curable. April Fools, that would suck. Yeah, imagine if I start a stream. Recent study, you're all screwed. That would feel wrong. I couldn't do that. I had a few ideas, like I was going to be like stereotypical with it, announce that I'm going to quit streaming or something, April Fools, I don't know, and it just didn't feel right, because in my head I'm thinking, well, they're going to freak out for a second, and that doesn't feel okay. So no April Fool's jokes. I started with dishes, then laundry, then little by little started, and it was slow progress, but damn does it work. Just trust the process, lose the devices, and stop the focus unless you need it. That is absolutely an amazing comment. It's so good to see you, by the way, Face Paint. I have missed you. Yeah, if anybody wants some motivation, take it from Face Paint. She is the perfect example of what it means to come in here, learn about, okay, stop fighting with it, and just live. Right? That's really what the two main keys are. Stop fighting with it and just live. She came in here, she learned the advice, she started slow, and that is perfectly fine, right? Most people do, myself included. I started slow, and now look at where she's at, right? She's feeling much, much, much better, but you have to do it. You have to go for it. You have to go for it. How are you? It's been ages. I am great. I wasn't so hot yesterday, but I feel much better today. The stomach has decided to calm down, thankfully, so we're here. We are here. True to Wonder Bro fashion, I'm currently on a very screwed up sleep schedule. So, but what would you expect? Would you expect any different? Probably not. Let's see. Let's see. I'll tell them to throw it out if you don't need it. I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't really tell people whether they should throw those little devices out the window or not. You know, it's their life. But I will say that those little oxygen meters and heartbeat monitors and all that stuff that people buy that don't need it for a health condition, but rather are just using it for health anxiety, is a horrible idea. You're going to be so hyper-focused on every little change in your body that you're not going to be living. How could you have time to do positive behavior, like I suggest here on the channel, if you're so busy about your checking your stats all day long? I don't know what else to call it. Checking your stats all day long, right? How could you possibly be using positive behavior if you're so consumed and hyper-focused on checking all your readings from dusk till dawn? Gonna be a bit difficult. Nothing new, exactly. Nothing new. Same old, same old. And that's why I wanted to do this stream tonight. Like, if you ever get confused, just remember this one thing: positive behavior. Go live, right? We have hundreds, literally hundreds of streams where we talk about accepting attitude. Don't fight with the thoughts. You know, don't follow the thoughts. We have hundreds of streams breaking this stuff down even more. And that's fine if you want to learn about that stuff. However, if you're just in a place where you're extremely obsessed and you're confusing all of this for yourself and you're overcomplicating it, then really there's only one thing you need to remember: just get up and go live. The rest will take care of itself. Naturally, as a result of living, you'll be fighting with your thoughts less because you're focused on something else, right? Naturally, as a result of positive behavior, your brain's going to learn that there's no real tiger. So if you are overcomplicating the advice, just get up and go live. That would be my, if I had to put it in one sentence instead of two, it would be that: get up and go live. And then once you're in a calmer headspace, once you're not overcomplicating this so much for yourself, then you can come back and watch some of the other streams and educate yourself a bit further on how this works, why this works, you know, blah, blah, blah. But if you're in that really bad space and you're just ready for change, just get up and go live. That is what I would tell you. That is what I would tell you. If you're ever wondering what it is you do with all the thoughts in your head and all the symptoms in your body, just get up and go live, right? And that's going to take some effort. That's going to take some effort on your part, on your behalf. You are going to have to make yourself do that because you're probably not going to feel like it. But that would be my go-to advice. If I couldn't have both of my two main keys and there was a gun to my head, somebody telling me, look, you get to pick one, I would say that. I would say, all right, I'm going to go with get up, go live. Get up, go live. That's what I'm going to go with, so. I'm all about trying to make it simple here. I'm all about trying to put people's minds at ease, give them a clear objective, and just get them started, man, and just get them started. Best advice ever. I overthought everything. Yeah. I don't know. I've been thinking about that recently. Like, yeah, the two main keys are extremely simple, but I feel like people are still overcomplicating them, especially the whole thought side of things. When I say accepting attitude and live your life, which is the two main keys, I feel like people overcomplicate the accepting attitude part, and now they're fighting with thoughts about what they do about their thoughts, and it's a rabbit hole in itself. So I've been thinking about that recently, and I'm like, well, what if we just say to people, hey, just get up and go live, right? If you want to learn about the other, all the details and stuff, I've got plenty of streams for you, right? And it's good if you want to learn. But if you're in a place where you're just overcomplicating the crap out of it like I used to be, if you're one of those people, no shame. But my advice to you, just get up and go live, right? we'll talk about the details later. We'll, get up and go live, and you'll start to make progress. You'll start to calm down a bit. It'll start to make more sense to you, and then we'll cover the details. But get up and go live, and it'll work out for you. It'll play out. Well, you can't say all healthcare professionals make it seem like you can't get better without meds. I mean, we are here based on my sweetheart, Dr. Claire Weeks, who was the pioneer of acceptance, who knew very well that you could make progress, that you could heal your nerves. And when we talk about this whole get up and go live thing, there was actually I don't know which one of her books it was, but at some point she had a lady who was very sensitized, and she actually went to her house and told her to get up and paint the house. Imagine being extremely sensitized, and this doctor, psychologist, comes in and says, "Hey, you want to get over this thing? Get up and paint your house." Oof. Now that lady probably had to really force herself to do that, right? But Dr. Claire Weeks knew that get up and go live is what's going to get you out of the obsession. It's what's going to get you out of this funk. It's what's going to teach your brain that the danger is not real. She knew this, and that's why she's going face to face with a lady who's sensitized on the couch and hasn't left that couch in weeks and months, and tells her, "This weekend I want you to get up and paint this house." That's a big leap. That's a big leap. But why'd she do that? She did that because she knew how the brain works. She knew how the brain learns. She knew that naturally, as a result of getting up and painting the house, this lady would be less obsessive. How could she be as obsessive if she's up worried about painting the house rather than laying on the couch? Right? Dr. Claire Weeks knew this. She knew this. And that's why, like I said, if I had to choose, if somebody forced me to just use one sentence to tell people that are struggling with anxiety, I would say those words: get up and go live. That doesn't mean you have to pack every day full of crap, right? It doesn't mean you can never relax again. It just means when you're wondering what to do, stop wondering what to do about your anxiety and get up and get something done. That is going to get you further in your recovery than sitting around obsessing about how this all works, because that obsession is continuing to tire your nerves out. So if you're ever wondering, just get up and go live. There you go. The longer you try to obsess your way out of this, the further back you're going, right? So when you catch yourself laying around obsessing, "Oh my God, anxiety," get up and go live. Get up and take the trash out. Anything, man. It doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be something big. I complicated it because it's so simple yet hard to let go and just live. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, you sit around on the couch or whatever. Not you, not anymore, but some people sit around on the couch or whatever and try to figure it all out, when really that obsession is just putting them further back. They just need to get up and go live. Naturally, as a result, things are going to start to fall in place. The brain's going to learn. You're doing less obsession because you're involved in life, right? So that would be the one thing I'd tell people if I was forced to only use one statement. It would be that one. People try to use their minds to heal their anxiety, when really we just call that obsession, and that's not going to heal. Obsession does not heal. Obsession creates the problem, right? So people use their minds to try to heal their anxiety, and obsession does not heal. Obsession creates the problem. And that's very ironic in that way. So get up and go live. That is the one reminder that I would give anybody who's overcomplicating the advice. Just get up and go live. So next time you find yourself in your bed with high anxiety and you're like, "Oh God, what do I do? Let me read the forums. Let me watch this video for the 100th time to make sure I didn't miss something. Let me try to iron all this out, all the details." Next time you find yourself in your bed doing that, you just need to remind yourself, wait, this is all pointless. This is very much stressing my nerves out. I'm just going to get up and go live. There you go. There you go, right? I don't know, man. I'm just trying to make it even more simple for people. I'm just trying to make it even more simple than it already is. Miami Vice, just for you, Sanchez. Just for you. Hey, what's up, Wolf? I'm glad you could catch a live stream, dude. I've noticed your comments. You were missing the streams. I was extremely sensitized, but thanks to the two main keys, I am healed. Live your life, just like how Mr. Wonderbro teaches you. You'll get it. Hey, Raymond, that is awesome, dude. I'm so happy for you, man. Comments like that is the reason I do what I do. We've got a couple people in the chat tonight who have healed. That is amazing. That is amazing. I felt dead depressed because I wasn't doing anything but caring about how I felt, what I was thinking exactly. So you were trying to obsess your way out of it. My brain was like, yeah, there's something wrong. This person isn't doing their normal things. Exactly. So you were trying to obsess your way out of it, which was just making you further stressed, more stressed, and you weren't doing anything to show your brain that you want different feeling, right? So it was just this ongoing cycle. Eventually you found me. Hello, you found me. And I remember when you first started coming around to the channel, Face Paint, took a little bit of convincing, but we got you living. And wow, you never looked back, did you? Did you? You never looked back. You got on board. You started living. You was probably thinking, what does this guy have me doing? This is not going to help anything, but you did it anyway. You trusted me, you put some faith in me, and you did it anyway, despite probably thinking, what is wrong with this guy? This ain't going to work. But you kept living day after day, being productive, positive behavior. You kept doing shit. You kept getting shit done. And now look at you, healed, man, healed. That's what happens when you put a little bit of faith in me, chat. You stop trying to obsess your way out of anxiety. You just start using that positive behavior. That's what happens. That's what happens right there. Windows security, virus and threat protection. No thanks. I would rather not pay, what is it, like $80 a month for that? You can get your pop-up out of here. Appreciate it, though. Appreciate the offer. Terrified of becoming suicidal or depression, getting so bad. See, you're sitting around, I'm terrified of this. What is going to happen? Obsess. You won't get anywhere trying to figure out your fears. You know where, you know what will get you somewhere? To allow these kind of thoughts and feelings to visit you or be there or whatever, while you focus on living, you get up and be productive. You cannot obsess your way out of anxiety. Logic does not work on anxiety. Positive action and behavior does. So the longer you sit around trying to use logic and debate with your mind, it's like trying to fight with a toddler. You're not going to get anywhere. If you want to speak the brain's language, stop trying to fight with a toddler and just get up and get living. I know that sounds hard to trust me. I know you probably don't trust me fully on this just yet, but I'm telling you, you won't get anywhere trying to figure this out with your mind. You will get somewhere if you just let it play out while you focus on living. Ask the people in the chat who's made the progress. Sanchez, Face Paint, all the people in just tonight's chat, not as a whole, but just in tonight's chat. Ask them. Ask them. They'll tell you the same thing. In order to get there, you got to stop trying to figure it out, because that's what's stressing you out. And you got to get living, right? You got to get living. They'll back me up on this, right? I'm not lying to you. They'll back me up on this. This is no April Fool's joke. This is no April Fool's joke. I just noticed while being here in the hospital, my anxiety go crazy. Those feelings are the same as when you get in my car and go. Same feelings. Yeah, same feelings, same old anxiety. Sometimes the symptoms are more intense than others, but whatever, right? Instead of trying to mentally fight them off, just get up and get living. That was the main point of tonight's stream. Stop confusing it. Stop overcomplicating it. Just get up and get living. Focus on some positive living. Focus on living life, man. Just make that your focus. Let everything else play out. Let everything else play out while you focus on living. Thank you. Thank you, Face Paint. See, Face Paint is healed. And she's healed from the advice that she learned here on the channel, right? And she says there was no she thought it was crazy, basically. She thought it was crazy. This guy's telling me to just get up and use positive behavior, live life and be productive. There's no way that can heal all of this craziness, right? That's what she said. There's no way that can heal all this craziness. That's too easy. That's too simple. Just get up and live? Are you kidding me? So when I'm anxious, just get up and do the dishes. You're telling me just to continue living, right? Is the key here? That's too easy. That's crazy, right? But here you go. She's healed. She's healed. Despite her doubts, she gave it a try. She heard me out, and she listened to what I had to say. She gave it an effort, and now she's healed, and she's moving into a new big house, going to events, traveling, she says, right? So, I don't know, man. Maybe it's time that you give a little faith, too. Maybe it's time that you put a little faith in it, too. Maybe. I'm living life, but still have the feelings, and that's how it's supposed to be. That is how it's supposed to be. It goes back to that age-old thing that we say here all the time. Anxiety learns while anxiety's turned on. You're supposed to still have the feelings at first, right? Anxiety learns while anxiety's turned on. It takes a minute for the brain to catch up. So you're going to have the feelings still at first. Face paint still had the feelings at first. Sanchez still had the feelings at first. I still had the feelings at first. You're going to still have the feelings. Anxiety learns while anxiety's turned on. But you get up and you get living anyway. Instead of trying to obsess about it and figure it all out, just get up and get living anyway. You absolutely will still have the feelings at first. It takes the brain time to learn. The more I practice, the easier it got, and then boom, I'm living life. There you go. There you go. Yep. You're still going to have the feelings for a while. It takes the time, it takes some time for the brain to learn. That's okay. That's okay. That's how that's supposed to be. That's how that's supposed to be. But the main point of tonight's stream is that you don't sit around and obsess about why you still have the feelings. You do what? You do what? Live, right? You don't sit around and obsess about why the feelings. The more you obsess about why you have anxiety, the further back you're going to go, right? Because the more you obsess about it, the more you're just stressing yourself out. If you want this thing to eventually heal, you drop trying to figure it all out and you get up and live. That's how the brain's going to learn. That's how the brain's going to learn. So people are trying to use their minds to overcome their anxiety. As a result, we call that obsession. They're just stressing themselves out further, when really, you just need to leave all that behind and get up and start living, despite, how you feel, regardless of how you feel. Regardless of how you feel. Hey, thank you for sharing your success with the chat tonight, Facepaint. I really appreciate it. It's very motivating. It's very motivating for a lot of people. Now I realize from using the two main keys deep within that I'm creating the problems. There's a difference trying to just chill. Exactly. That is a good way to put it. I'm out here trying to ask this stranger, how do I get back in this hospital with my teeth stuck to my lips? Hey, pick your chin up, right? Pick your chin up. Speak with your chest. Speak with some confidence, right? Live your life in a positive manner, positive behavior. Do your thing. Do your thing. Crystal, listen to him. He knows what he's talking about. I appreciate that. So many positive comments tonight. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Found out a week ago I might have cancer, and I'm still learning so much that I'm scared, but I'm okay because I don't fight how I feel anymore. Exactly. And that's unfortunate. I hate to hear that. But I'm glad that you took the core message here, right? I believe it will work out for you. I always hope for the best, of course, and I do apologize for that. However, I'm glad that you took the core message here and you are running with it, and you're not only applying it to your anxiety, but you're applying it to your real life, right? It's one thing to have bad things happen to you, right? And nobody can deny that cancer, for example, is a bad thing. But it's one thing to have bad things happen to you, and it's another thing to sit around and add suffering to that. You can have unfortunate things happen to you, but that doesn't mean that you have to suffer to the degree that you're making yourself suffer. Right? Right? So I'm glad not only did you take the advice and heal your anxiety, but you took the advice and now you're applying it to a real life situation, which is going to make it much easier for you to handle that situation, take the action that you need to take, and do what you can, right? And not have to suffer. Not have to suffer. Anyone here ever watch Mr. Rogers? I did way back in the day. Like way back in the day with my grandfather. It's been forever ago. Truly owe everything to you. Your help is the results of this changed woman. I love your no BS. Thank you so much. I appreciate that face paint. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for your support. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Couldn't have said it any better myself. You know what? I could have been wrong about that last message. No, I agree with it completely. Whether you learnt it from your uncle or his AA meetings or wherever you heard it from, it's a good quote, and I agree with it completely. I'd never thought of having bad things happen and be okay. I would have never been in this place before, being okay with life. I'm truly laid back now. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. And you know what's funny? There's probably people in chat reading that comment and saying to themselves, how'd she do it? Despite everything we've said tonight, there's probably still some people in the chat reading Face Paint's comments and saying, how did she do it? We're telling you, you're not missing some great secret here. You're not missing a piece to the puzzle that you think you're missing. You just got to get up and get living. That is literally all she did. And that is all I've ever told you guys to do. Accept the thoughts and feelings and live your life. So you might be thinking to yourself, how'd she do it? What is the part that I'm missing? What's the great secret? There is no great secret. You just don't have faith in the fact that you just need to get up and live, and stuff like washing the dishes is a good start. You think that's too simple to take care of these anxiety problems. You don't have faith in that yet, right? Understand, the brain learns from your behaviors. And yes, it is that simple. It might not be that easy because you got to force yourself to do this. But you're not missing anything. There's nothing you're missing. When are you going to get started? When are you going to stop questioning this thing and just get started? You're going to sit there and try to figure this out for the rest of your life when literally you could just get started and be where face pain is if you would just get going. If you would just get going with the positive behavior, if you would get off the couch, if you would get out of the bed, if you'd go do those sink full of dishes, right? If you would just get going with living, despite the way that you feel, you would be there. There's nothing you're missing. You can sit and try to figure this thing out and overcomplicate it for the rest of your life, or you can just get going. And I highly recommend the second option there. I highly, highly recommend you go for that second one there, right? You're not going to find any answers. I'm telling you, you're not going to find any more answers with the obsession. It's time to get started. So the point of the stream tonight was just to tell everybody, right? The simplest way to kind of sum it up is live your life. Face paint is an excellent example of that, and I'm really glad she stopped by the stream tonight to vouch for that. So let me ask Face Paint a question here. Miss Face Paint, whenever you first learned about the channel and you were extremely anxious and you had all the negative intrusive thoughts rushing around in your head and you had all the feelings in your body and you first started to dedicate to acceptance, what did you do, right? What did you do when you were extremely anxious and you had all these negative intrusive thoughts going around? What would you do when you started to really dedicate to this thing? Did you get up and live? Is that what you did? Did you get up and live? You see where we're going with this? You see where we're going with this? You're not missing anything. You're not missing anything. Stop trying to obsess your way out of anxiety. You're going to have to, you might have to force yourself to use these positive behaviors for a little bit. That's okay. Such amazing progress. Out of context here, but I tried your Amazon wish list, but it isn't working. Strange. Let me see. Do they change the link on that from time to time, maybe? I'm not sure. They might change the link on it from time to time or something. You can tell me if this works. It might. I wish I would have learned this earlier in life, Wonder Bro. All the time I lost in the rabbit hole. Live life. Just live life, dude. Just live life. Just live life. Stop trying to figure it out, man. Just go take your dog for a walk. And then after you do that, do the dishes. And then get the motivation rolling. And then tidy up the house. And then just keep going with it, right? Just live life. Just live life. So simple. So simple, but you got to make yourself do it. Got to make yourself do it. Hey, we're all about all sorts of different topics here. I can't say I've ever watched Spider-Man, but man, I really appreciate you guys coming in, even though you've healed, and helping me share this word, man. I really appreciate it because I feel like it motivates people in the chat, you know? When they can take it from more than just me, I feel like it motivates people, so I really do appreciate you guys doing that. I got up and started taking showers, doing the dishes, playing with my kids. Still felt like crap, and it was forced, but each day got better. Tried my best to be okay with feeling however I did, so there you go. From, I believe Face Paint said she was pretty much bedbound at one point. Just started getting up and doing things. You know what we call that? We call that living life. And now she's to a point where she says she's not only healed, but feels like she's a better version of herself than she was before. So we're not even talking about just healing here. We're talking about a total upgrade, right? So there you go. For anybody who doesn't want to take it from just me, if you're still sitting around each day obsessing, trying to figure out anxiety mentally, you're not using the advice, there you go. Take it from someone who's also been bedbound at one point, and just got up and started living. Stopped trying to figure it out and just started living. I mean, there you go. And yes, it does feel forced, just like she said, because you have to make yourself do it, because you're not going to feel like it at first. So, you know, that's something that you've got to remember and push through that. You got to remember that and push through that and do it anyway. So literally, no matter where you are in your life, if you're willing to put on a smile and get up and live your life and take it back, just by living your life, if you're willing to force yourself to do that, right, you can be on the other side. So it's up to you. It's up to you. Oh, I gotta have a bit of a stretch. Gotta have a bit of a stretch. Even got on a roller coaster. Even got on a roller coaster. I want to point out that it's okay to take it slow, right? It's okay to take it slow. But hell, even if you do go jump on a roller coaster, it's not going to kill you. So there you go. There you go. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Oh, no, but you're going to have to move. You're right in my back. You're like 100 pounds. I bet you were very tempted to run back to bed when you first started making yourself get up and take showers and do the dishes and play with your kids, for example. I bet you were very tempted to run back to bed, right? You had to really make yourself do those things, but you did, and now you've got the results. Kate isn't here. Yep, Kate is not here. Kate is probably, I don't know what Kate's doing. Probably sleeping at this time. Don't forget to hit the like on the stream. Yes, I would really appreciate it, guys. It does help the channel grow. Love your channel. Watch many of your vids. Thanks. Absolutely, Aaron. No problem, dude. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Glad you're enjoying them, man. Wait, Kate is here. Kate is here. Kate's just silent today. That's okay. Kate's been here the whole time. Okay, okay. Kate's been here the whole time. She's just feeling quiet today. It's just a quiet day for Kate. I thought, nope, I'd still feel everything. He's crazy. It's not working. But day by day, week by week, it started fading. My panic attacks left first, then my feelings, and then my thoughts. And that is the very normal, typical way that works. So the panic attacks normally are the first thing to kind of slow down or at least die down for you. The feelings then start to kind of fade, and the thoughts are usually the last thing to go. So all of that's very standard and typical. It may not go that way for everybody, but that's usually how that goes. And yeah, you know, the feelings do remain for some time, but you still continue to push yourself to do these things. You still continue to live. You still continue to use the positive behavior, whether you necessarily feel like it or not. And the brain slowly starts to catch up. And then as a result, you see these things start to fade. I can't speak for some reason now. It would be nice if it was instant, but it does take the time, it does take time for the brain to learn. So. Kate is a ninja. Yes, Kate is a ninja today, apparently. I can't say that I love roller coasters. I can't agree with you on that one. But maybe one day I will learn to love them. Who knows? Who knows?
Donation.
Lucy! Lucy! Holy crap. Lucy! I want a huge round of applause in the chat for Lucy. Please, coming in with the $40 tip, taking us to tip goal. Taking us to tip goal. Lucy and Universe, thank you guys so much. We are moving on to 123. Wow. Wow, every time I say that, that literally just, I don't even know. 123 day streak. Can we please get a wall of emojis going in the chat? I want you to spam the chat with all of your love. $40 tip from Lucy. That is insane. Thank you so much, Lucy. Thank you so much, Universe, for your $10 tip. I appreciate you guys so much. We're moving on to 123 days. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. The day response is kind of similar to Claire Weeks. It's all more or less the same at the end of the day. Face it, right? Live. 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 Yes, setbacks do happen. I was fine for 3 months, and boom, I was like, oh, not today, Satan. So, you might be making great progress for a few months, and then anxiety is like, hey, I'm going to pay you a little bit of a visit. That's normal. It's another opportunity to retrain, as long as you view it as an opportunity to retrain and keep living, which is the point of tonight's stream. Just keep living. It'll be fine. It doesn't have to turn into a big deal. It can literally just be a little poke from anxiety, another opportunity to continue retraining and really nail this thing down. Right? Retrain some more pathways. Just keep living and it'll be fine. It doesn't have to turn into a big deal. Absolutely does not. If you stick to what you know and take it as an opportunity instead of a bad thing, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Physical symptoms are not near as frequent, so a lot of mental symptoms. And that's the good news. Whether it's physical symptoms or mental symptoms, as long as you just keep living, dude, you will show your brain that these things are not real dangers. You will show your brain the truth. That's the good news. So it doesn't matter. Regardless, physical symptoms, mental symptoms, both, right? Just keep living. Just keep living. Sounds too good to be true. But if you work at it and you make yourself do it, you will eventually see the results. That's how your brain learns. That's how your brain learns. And that applies to everybody. That applies to everybody in the chat right now. Thank you again so much, Lucy, and so much, Universe, for your tips. I really appreciate it. We're a few minutes from that hour mark, so great timing on that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm out. Thanks for another amazing stream. Glad you're well. Thank you, Face Paint. I'm glad you're well. Keep it up. Keep being awesome. And listen, peeps, it works. Look at me and say, wow, you have come so far. You have come so far. Thank you so much for stopping by. It was good seeing you. Get out there. Enjoy your life. Enjoy recovery. Keep it up. Yeah, I know. The demand for the podcast is going up, up, up. The demand for another podcast is on the rise. And Kate is who's in line for that. I think that's what everybody has decided. Kate is in line for that, I believe. I offered him and he ignores me. Well, she's lying. That's a lie. That is a lie. Kate's a liar. Kate is in line for the podcast. She's telling a bit of a fib right now, so we might have to replace her with someone else. We can't have fibbers on the podcast, no fibbers. So we might just have to find someone else now. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Kate is in line. I'm learning slowly but surely. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Keep it up, dude. Stretch. Stretch. Stretch it out. All right, beautiful people. I love you. I love you so much. We just passed that 1 hour mark. Let's go ahead. Get our song ready. Where's our song? Where's our song? I can't find it. Where's our song? Here it is. We might have to sit through an ad. No, I think we're good. I think we're actually good tonight. There we go. All right. I love you, beautiful people. I hope you had a great day. I hope you have an amazing night. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you so much for all of your support. You are beautiful. You are awesome. Next time you overcomplicate this thing, remember to just live. Force yourself if you have to. It'll get easier in time. I love you guys. Show your brain the truth. Let's listen to our song. And until next time, as always, stay awesome.
I got my own cold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own cold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No, did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own cold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own cold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No, did it die?